Yeah, so the next guy we'll touch on is probably one of the most intriguing prospects. You got Boston College running back A.J. Dillon. I mean, this guy is a fucking tank. I mean, he's got Saquon Barkley-like legs. His legs might be bigger than Saquon Barkley, but
dude, his quads
he
are
came in
stupid.
at 6 foot, like 245. He ran a 4.53 40 and then a 41-inch vertical. So I mean, the guy can jump through the roof, being as heavy and big as he is. One thing I didn't like right here, the carries. Last 3 years, 318, 227, and 300. So a lot of tread on the tires. Did have 10 or more touchdowns in all 3 years, but not really incorporated out of the backfield pass catching wise. I mean, we were kind of talking about him off air. You're just saying for a guy his big, he's not like a pile mover.
Yeah, no. I mean, if you're a combine guy, his combine numbers, he did better than Derrick Henry, like all the numbers. But Derrick Henry's like an actual power runner to where that's why his 4.4 40 or 4.5 looks crazy. This guy, yeah, if you watch his film, like he goes down for a dude that big, he gets stood up a lot, and he doesn't run through people like that. But I do like him. I mean, his size, he is big. I don't know how you teach somebody to run stronger, but I don't know if you could do that. But
they just are what they are. But I'm disagree. I think he's good.
I like
I don't
him.
think you get those intangibles of what 6-something, 260, 540. Like that's a rare mix of size and speed.
For sure it is.
And when you get that in the NFL, those guys are usually successful. And so if he lands in the right spot, I read that somewhere like the Patriots, he's from Boston, would be like a good spot for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need a running back too.
I mean, he's a big dude. I just think that if he can get into the right system and, maybe they can – I mean, bro, this guy's just a tank. I mean, it's like I've seen things and people knock on him saying, like, he's this big guy, like, but he's not powerful. But I've seen him just, like, throw people around in some of the highlights I've seen. He's more of like a goal line back for me. So, like, kind of like a Latavius Murray is kind of like a comparison that kind of jumps to my mind. Like, a guy who's not going to get you a ton of catches, but, maybe he can come in and get you – 10 to 12 carries and then some goal line work, depending on what team he's on.
I've read a good comparison. I thought it was fair. It was LeGarrette Blount.
Probably. That's probably a really good one.
Like it was just a power, but, and that's what they're saying the Patriots were lacking is that they missed that power guy. They don't have him anymore, and if they can go and get him and he could give them LeGarrette Blount-like years, that would be successful.
Yeah, because, I mean, you look at him and you look at his numbers and how big he is, and you would think, why isn't he a top 5 running back? So obviously there's things that teams don't like because you look at the dude, how big he is and his numbers and shit, you would think he's like a top 5. You would think he'd be a
the guy looks like a tank out there
fucking
running
huge.
around,
So
bro.
it's
But I also think that's part draft too.
well,
This draft is deep. I'll say it again. This draft is deep.
super deep. But it's like it's just crazy to think that someone's like, I like Eno Benjamin more than I like A.J. Dillon. And you would think A.J. Dillon, as big as he is and how Derrick Henry's doing, that teams would be drooling over him. And there might be a team. You never know. I mean, you saw DK Metcalf kill the combine.
Blount, like you said. LeGarrette Blount is probably the best.
Yeah, I hope he goes. I read that the Bills would like a goal line back, him and Devin Singletary, which wouldn't be a bad thing. But they already have Josh Allen, but...
They want good 1-2 combo, though. I think he's going to be a solid goal line back. Maybe he might, fantasy-wise, he might not, produce for your fantasy team, but I think NFL-wise, like a guy who's that big and who could jump 40-plus inches, I mean, when you get close, he can just jump over the line.
He reminds me, remember T.J. Duckett? That's who he reminds me of. That's what
Dre throwing it back.
I know.
T.J. Duckett was fucking 245.
Our listeners weren't alive then, Dre.
Christian Okoye.